but the vibes there were amazing. Water is life.
Yeah.
Nice to be nice. Bad
Yeah.
days canceled. The vibes there were everything I wanted in life. And you're able to grab your coffee and go right across the street and sit on the beach.
Honestly,
That's kind of
we can wander our way over, because this is Wandering Ways.
What's Bigfoot possibility?
Clink. Oh my gosh, new coffee cup.
I think just for these next couple episodes.
How are you liking it?
The coffee cup?
Yeah.
This is actually the first time I've used it.
I'm curious because it's a bigger one. It's a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
That's why I gave it to Joe, because I was like, I don't drink coffee. 1, 2, it has your name on it. So
yeah.
But we're not going to tell them. Don't tell the fans. Only the YouTubers can see, but don't tell the listeners that are listening in, because then we'll talk about it on next week's podcast.
Yeah. We'll get into where the cup actually came from there in next week's podcast. But we want to kind of start things out because, literally, I think yesterday of recording this, Zion had a flash flood.
Oh my gosh, I know. I saw pictures.
Yeah.
I saw videos. I saw fear in people. And I just had to think, at first when I was watching the videos, it doesn't look like it's happening in America first, which is blowing my mind because it's wow, this looks like a third world country, whatever, because it's just how it was captured. But then for me to think that's just the devastation of the events happening, the flooding, the fear. I'm honest, you could hear and see the fear in people because they're just what the fuck am I going to do?
Right?
And I get it when those deer are looking at the headlights in the road and they get that look, because that's that same look. It's the deer in the headlights look. It's the, what am I going to do?
No. I mean, shoot, I haven't seen any video of it. So,
well, I was actually
interested to have to go look for it. But when I did Narrows, the big thing was always flash flood watch. Ask the park, the visitor center about flash floods and all that. And doing it, you're damn, if a flash flood really did happen, shoot, about turned out how you think the pictures did.
Did you ever go? We did that at Universal Studios. They did a flash flood. I honestly, this is one of those weird trips. It was in year 2000, maybe 2001. Tyler might have been there. I don't know. I'm young. I'm 5, 6 years old. So this is why the memory isn't that great, guys. I apologize. But we're sitting in those little tour vans, they take you around the sets of Universal Studios. And I just remember there being a flash flood and kind of experiencing it as a kid on this golf cart thing. And it was kind of scary because they themed it that way, as you're driving to feel and look scary. But they're scary because when we were kids in New Mexico, we had the arroyos. And if you don't know what an arroyo is, it's a large ditch. It's concrete, you could probably put 2 lanes of traffic going down. That's how big they are. And we would get safety videos in schools with training, don't go skateboard in the arroyos just because if there's a flash flood up in the mountains, you can die down here in Albuquerque on a 100-degree day. And the videos of the kids hanging on to ladders. And
yeah.
It was crazy to think and grow up with that and experience these. And I could only imagine what these guys are going through. And I was going to tell you on Facebook, that's how I keep in touch. Now, it was either trekking the national parks or just the national parks group. And there were videos of people who were actually in Zion. They were sharing their videos live. So that's where I saw those. So you might want to check out Facebook.
Yeah, maybe. I'm never really on Facebook anymore. So just to keep in touch with family, I guess. But yeah, no, it was kind of crazy seeing that stuff happen in Zion. But anyways, just
What,
jumping into, or
well,
no,
what would you do?
what would
What
I
would the
do?
Reverend do in that moment? You're looking, you're standing. I'm trying to think where would be a good spot for you to be. You're at your campground, your tent, your hammock in the tree, whatever, right? You're chilling down there, and this flood water starts coming. What goes through your mind?
Um, Try and get my ukulele and ride this wave out.
I
you know,
guess, right? Yeah.
you can't. There's not a whole lot you can do, right? Because you get in the car, then it creates a whole thing with the car if the flash flood does come. I think that's a bad move. Then you're like, well, it's water. Should I climb a tree? But then, it's going to take out the land underneath it. So you're going to go anyways. Now you have the tree involved. So, like, it's one of those where you just like kind of hope it deters away from you or it slows up or.
I'm like, first thing goes in my head is protect my head. I don't know how, don't know where, but I'm thinking like hold, climb a tree, like you said, get in the car. But I'm thinking in my head because I'm thinking if I get trapped in this water, big thing whenever I've been told anything in water is always like turn around so that your butt's towards the bottom of the river and your legs are facing like the way the water is flowing. Because you're protecting your head, you're visualizing things, you can react and move better. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking that because I'm thinking, fuck, tree's gonna hit me. I just don't like being tall. I hit my head on a lot of things. I trip over a lot of things. So I'm always like self-cautious about like my surroundings. So that would be my thing is like, how am I not gonna get hurt?
Shit, you trip over everything because your feet are out in a goddamn V. That's like shit. It's basically 180 degrees. But
No, it's 90. I measure every day. I used to get my flow checker out.
no, yeah, no, that
Well, the
would.
only reason you're talking about it is because you noticed it just recently.
I notice it every time I see you.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, no, this recently was a reminder of how wanky your feet are since we just got back from Hawaii.
Yeah, it was great, guys.
Yeah, it was.
I was living the island life.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet, pretty pitted. Um, you know. So we just got back. Oh, not even a week ago. Back from Hawaii, and we are excited to kind of review kind of what we did over the next 2 episodes. So we got Oahu today, we got the Big Island tomorrow, and then we got even more fun stuff involving Hawaii. So it's the middle of the summer. I know you guys are probably all hot anyway, but if you want to imagine nice beaches, keep listening on for the remainder couple weeks.
I mean, for sure. I like the way you put that because it is summer. It's hot. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, you're just getting over, 115 degrees, which is unheard of in that area. Seattle, you're hitting 100 for the first time like ever. And then if you're in the Southwest where it's always hot, you're in the Southeast where it's hot, you're in New York and it's hot there now because whatever, you're in Ohio and it's humid and hot, you're in Canada and it's getting hot, you're in Russia and your ice caps are melting and you're getting a little happy because your land value is going up. But other than that, we're going to bring you these nice tropical peaceful vibes, that ukulele music, hearing that. If you guys followed us on social medias, Mark was doing some ukulele stuff a couple nights, and it's always fun. It's always a fun time.
It is. And man, we started off the trip with we've talked before, things happen, things change up, you got to change up your whole schedule. And so just total impromptu, we decided to just stay the night in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, and you guys, this is what we talk about. Plan, but plan for failure. Because we're there, we're in Portland, we get through security, we get our bags off and all of a sudden, getting on that plane, fly into Phoenix. We're like, got a couple hours before our flight. Let's get some food. Let's chill. Let's get ready. We're going to Hawaii. 5 more hours. We'll be there. It was an early morning already. Get on the plane, sit on the plane, load this big plane that has 3 seats in this left side, 5 seats in the middle, and 3 seats on the other side. Big plane, a lot of people, probably 200 plus people. And back the plane out, and then all of a sudden the engine won't start. So what do they say? Pull you back to the gate, get off the plane because it's 115 degrees outside. We don't want you sitting in this metal container on the runway as we turn it on and off. The AC is going on and off as they try to fix the engine. Then they reboard the plane, we get back on the plane, they back it out, and same thing won't happen. We get off, they tell us to go, we booked you at the hotels, book your hotels, get your bags, leave your bags. They told us to leave our bags. American Airlines, do not fly them. They told me at the gate, don't worry, it's probably the same plane we're going to fly tomorrow. So they're going to leave your bags on the plane unless you ask for them off. And so then we leave, we go to the hotel, go get some food. Great Mexican food down there in Phoenix. We went to Mill Street. Mark, the area kind of well, used to go down there as a child.
Yeah, well, I was real little, but right next to Arizona State University. Highly recommend for a hard little stop in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Not long, but it was a stop.
Got there, went to bed.
Yep.
It was real fucking hot. 90 degrees, I think is what it was, as the low, and it was just hot outside.
3 a.m. It was 99 or something.
Yeah. It was terrible.
Yeah.
And we get back to the airport, go through security. I asked the front desk lady, hey, I left my bag here. Is it on the plane? If you left it here, it's on the plane. Okay. Well, get on the plane loads, everything's fine. Great. Happy. We're in Hawaii. We're going to Hawaii. On the plane to Hawaii. Fill everything out, the paperwork that you have to fill out when you're coming into Hawaii. Great. Fun stuff. Land in Hawaii. Find out we have a missing bag. They left it in Phoenix. Baggage claim in Phoenix had my bag. Why? I'm going to Hawaii, not Phoenix. The tag said that. I don't know. American Airlines, they messed up. They even double charged us for the bag, which I'm still working with their customer service on to figure this stuff out. So, I'm going to stick to Delta or Alaska because I know they have my bag.
Yeah, it was not the best experience with all American Airlines. Sounded like the plane just wouldn't turn over, like your car battery was dead. So, got us on the plane, off the plane. It was an adventure just getting to Hawaii.
Oh, and that was
the thing there, man.
You were in paradise. You couldn't be upset. You're happy.
Yep. We we just kind of went to our Airbnb, dropped our stuff off, and then went to this beach or this bay. I can't remember the name of the bay.
It was like Waimea Bay. It's near Waimea Falls. But yeah, we got some food down at the food carts there in Kahuku because we were hungry after all that travel, and headed up there to this bay, and we hung out all day. I mean, I think we got to our Airbnb about 1-2 o'clock, and we spent 5-6 hours over here hanging out. And what I really liked about this bay is it had the turtles that would just pop up. You see their heads pop up every once in a while, and they would pop up 4 or 5 feet away from you every once in a while. But for the most part, they were 20, 30 feet away as we swam.
They didn't get real close.
And that was also the same day Karen showed up, our great friend Karen, who she knew the area well. She told us some stuff to do.
She told us to go to, and I have the name here, Kawela Bay, Kawela.
Yeah.
So that's the name of the bay. It's right near Turtle. It's right near Turtle Bay. Actually, I think Turtle Bay may be technically part of this larger bay system.
When you can see the Turtle Bay Resort from the pillbox in that area.
Yeah. So no, it was a perfect beach. The water was nice. Not too many people, which was pretty sweet. Still good amount of people doing their thing, but I mean, we had our own little like section, and no one really bothered us. We didn't bother them. So
Oh, and Karen had her two dogs. She brought
yeah,
her two dogs, and you know, there's some places over there you'd be like, "Ooh, why is someone bringing their dogs to the beach?" But this was perfect. They were having fun. You know, they were running in out of the water with us.
yeah,
It was just a great time.
it was. It was nice to catch up with Karen. I hadn't seen her since OSU days, so it's been a hot minute. So it was nice to catch up. Always a pleasure to see old friends on the trip. Got the chance to do it like twice, so it's all good things, you know. Happy to hear Karen's doing good too.
Yeah, no, and doing well. And her boyfriend and his son, they joined us, and they actually went snorkeling while they were there. They went like spear fishing.
For
Uh,
taco,
yeah, they didn't get anything though.
no. And
Instead, the
for
water was
people
murky.
curious what taco is, it's octopus. But they were going out for taco, so uh, unfortunately, they didn't get any. I would kind of wish they did. What's funny is like after we got back, I was at my parents and we had a thing of octopus, like
Oh, funny.
just like eat on. I was like, dang, I actually never had octopus up until that time. Stuff's not bad.
What does it taste like? Chicken?
Uh, I mean, I'm gonna be real. You probably wouldn't like it. Um,
Is it fishy?
yeah,
Uh,
it's more fishy. It'd be like having some like a clam, you know,
oh, maybe. I
just the
don't.
clam itself though, not
I'd
like
try it.
or anything.
I'd try to try it. I had alligator down in Louisiana. Oh,
Heard it tastes
yeah.
like chicken.
Honestly, though, honestly, it tastes like people are like, no, you're just saying that. No, I think that's part of like reptiles and birds and alligators being as old as they are, like historically, like it's fucking chicken meat.
Shoot, that's not a bad way to think of it.
You
Um,
know, go back to prehistoric times, alligators, birds, they're the only ones that really have lived this long.
you're not wrong there. You're not wrong there. But anyways, we caught the sunset. The sunset at this beach, this little bay. We saw it 2 nights in a row, and holy cats, they're amazing. The sunset. I mean, it's a good beach sunset. I grew up with them, but you know, you really can't go wrong with a good sunset. And we were blessed with two of them. Couldn't see my green flash either night, but you
Well,
know,
I think in Oregon, right, the Oregonian sunset out there on the coast, when the sun goes down, it gets cold, so I want to go. But like out there, you're like, it's still nice. Like we can just vibe. And I think that helps. And you're in Hawaii. I mean, you can't be,
yeah,
being surrounded by, the world's largest ocean, the Pacific, and feeling that humidity, that warm weather, just feeling comfortable for
yeah,
most of the time. You can just walk outside and you're like, I feel fine.
it's pretty nice when you can just kind of have kind of really whatever you want on, you know, tank top, flippies. Um, shoot, it's pretty nice when you're able to do that.
Even pants and long sleeve shirts people were wearing over there, and they're fine with it because it's a comfortable enough temperature.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, this Wandering Ways T-shirt I have on right now is fantastic over there. It's almost like the Wandering Ways team wanted it to be like that.
I probably should have wore mine. I washed it at least.
There you go. But no, it's all good. But yeah, I mean, shoot, that's the sunrise or sunset. It's not the sunrise. One thing I want to point out about the trip is our Airbnb was pretty sweet. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, they were nice people too, and very helpful, very great. I thought I lost something; it just was packed in a different bag. So I even asked. I said, "Hey, was it there?" And she checked, didn't find anything. I was like, because I remember bringing it to the Big Island when we eventually ventured over there. So I was like, I just covering all my ground. But they were very cool family.
Yeah, it was a great family, great location. nice little studio apartment. You know, it was perfect to call home base for it.
Well, what I liked is it was their garage. They converted their garage into a studio apartment, and really the only thing that made it feel like a garage was the garage door. It felt like a room. It felt like any other room in the house.
And they didn't make it feel like it was a garage door, though. Even though you could see it was, like, you didn't feel like, oh, there, yeah, that's the garage door. You felt like it was just a normal wall, you know.
Yeah, really, it was the thing on. It was the ceiling, the garage, the runner, I guess.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that really stood out about it. They did a great job.
Yeah,
Shout out to
no,
them.
it was. So I wish I could remember all their information. But if you're going to Oahu and you need recommendation of us of a good Airbnb, hit us up.
I have the receipts.
Yeah, so we can get you that information.
Yeah, it was in Kahuku. It was a garage studio, I think is actually probably what it's listed as. So
Probably.
Great host. They're always looking for people. I believe they have a few other properties. They do cultural events with people, she was saying, how like they'll tie hats and they'll
which is cool.
Yeah. We didn't do that. We were too busy. Our review was all they did was sleep here.
Which is what we did. That's all we did was sleep there.
Because we're in Hawaii.
Yeah, no, exactly. And we had places to be.
Yeah.
One of those places was the Sunrise Shack.
Yeah, I mean, in 2 days in a row, we got to experience a good sunrise at the Sunrise Shack.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little coffee spot because I have to get my coffee. But the vibes there were amazing. You know, water is life. Yeah. Nice to be nice. Bad days canceled. The vibes there were everything I wanted in life. And you're able to grab your coffee and go right across the street and sit on the beach.
Honestly.
That's kind of a cool perk, but.
Yeah, they got the chickens wandering around there, the birds chirping.
Yeah.
Everyone that's there is like they're in that quiet mood because it's morning. They have some good stuff. They have some real good stuff.
They do. Highly recommend. And I mean, from there, that first full day, we were still waiting on your bag, which wasn't going to get in until the afternoon that day. So we couldn't do a whole lot because hiking boots were in the bag. He didn't have any clothes. So, you know, we had to make do again with shifting our schedule. So we went to the North Shore to just enjoy everything about it.
And we did. We went to a farmer's market. We went to the surf shops. I bought a shirt because I was wearing the same one for like 48 hours.
Yep.
It was fun. I like it. I like the North Shore. I could live at the North Shore personally. The vibe is just a peaceful, chill, calm vibe, and that's who I am.
Oh, 100%. 100%. The North Shore was really cool. I really enjoyed living kind of close to it, and then driving up there, checking out the shops. That farmer's market was cool. So, I mean, the North Shore was definitely that area where we stayed up to the North Shore. I think is my favorite part of Oahu.
Oh, it's why I picked it out for us to stay there because it's I am all about that you're out of the touristy area, you're out of the cities, and honestly, like Waikiki is great. I've been there. I like it. It's fun. It's Hawaii. Honolulu's great. It's all awesome. I just, I like the chill neighborhoods. I like the locals. I like the native peoples, because that's who I am. I like that vibe.
I feel it. Yeah, no, I mean, they're great vibes out there. The island's all great, but I think out there, kind of my more favorite area.
Yeah.
But, so again, checked out the North Shore. Then we went all the way to the other end of the island to check out, was it the Coco Botanical Garden?
Yeah, and this one was Karen's boyfriend actually recommended it to us because he said it's in a crater, it's free. That was the other thing that shouted out to us. Is it was a free thing to do,
Yeah.
and it was a botanical garden of all these various plants that they have planted. And some of them were from North America, some of them were from like Madagascar and Africa, some were from Hawaii. So just various plants that I assume were like, hey, let's see if these grow here in Hawaii. Let's put them in this crater. And they've turned it into a botanical garden, and it's actually quite beautiful. The cactuses and the way they grow, all the like lay flowers.
Yeah,
Uh,
the flowers are amazing.
they had some good flowers. The big belly trees.
Mm-hmm.
It was all great stuff.
First time I ever saw trees with like long vines. Most of the time, all I've really seen is long moss, but it's not that long. So seeing the the vines like you do in all the cartoons that they're swinging on and stuff, you're like, okay, cool. At least it's somewhat believable now.
Right,
Yeah,
right. That's the funny thing is like we look at our like cartoons and just our even our media and as over exaggeration because it's like that can't be real with that stuff. But someone had to get the idea somewhere.
right. 100%, 100%.
I fucking love Hawaii a lot. It's you can get out on like it's just tropical. It's peaceful. The jungle, like, and if you don't like snakes, there's not a single one there.
Yeah,
So like
huge, huge
you can
plus.
be in the jungle and feel like this is perfect. That's why I like it. Oh,
That is. Thank you, Wanderers, for checking us out. Make sure that you are hitting that like button, that subscribe button, leaving us a review on the iTunes, on the Spotify's, or wherever that you are checking out this podcast today. We really appreciate it. Any kind of feedback, we love it. Make sure to check out the YouTube so you can see our beautiful faces instead of just listening to those beautiful voices. But hit the like and subscribe button there too to see all of the fun Wandering Ways stuff.
Yeah, on the YouTube too. Make sure to check out those videos like Mark's amazing 30-day road trip where he lived out of the back of a Jeep. And if you want to commemorate it, go ahead and pick yourself up that Wandering Ways swag. In the Linktree bio, click the swag button. If you're just on YouTube or Google or some sort of thing, go teespring.com/wanderingways. You'll find us. You'll find socks. You'll find shirts. You'll find whatever you want to put our logo on, and you can have it for sure.
And maybe you only like one of the Wandering Ways team members here, and you want to check out maybe just me personally, because obviously I might be the better one. Check me out, Reverend Marcus, on the Instagram, on the Twitter. I got some fun stuff there.
Hey, and you might be into Jeeps. You could check out my Jeep, the Rougarou. You might be into adventures. Check out Zach of Wandering Ways. Who knows? You can find it all with us at Wandering Ways, the nature podcast.
Yeah, let's keep wandering on. Before we keep going on with more of our time in Oahu, we are going to do, again, I think everyone's favorite segment that we do roughly about halfway through, weirdly, is cool shit in nature.
all right. All right.
So cool shit in nature this week, I think is pretty cool, but it's not as like catchy or like crazy as the other ones here. But it's kind of just peaceful.
Oh, I like it.
It's just a fly through on a snowy day in the German Black Forest. It's got some fog. It's covered all in snow. I can see it right now, just the real peaceful music as you go and float through this forest down a road.
It's a nice drone shot, foggy, snowy day in Germany. I'm looking at these trees with all the snow on the pine needles and on the road. And I've been in a lot of heat lately, guys. I experienced the Pacific Northwest 115-degree heat that we talked about, the Phoenix 117-degree heat, the Hawaii 90 degrees and muggy. And just to see some snow like that, I need that. So I appreciate you.
It's nice. It's kind of cooling. It's kind of cooling.
We only had like 4 days of snow in Billings last year, so
Damn.
kind of sucked.
Yeah, that does suck. But then we get to our second full day. We now have Zach's luggage, thankfully. If you're still following along in the luggage saga, but so we have it, and which means hiking boots. So we were told we were narrowing it down between two: the classic Stairway to Heaven, or this other one that our good friend Karen, again, shout out to Karen, she gave us all the cool stuff. Mount Olympus.
Yeah, and before we get into it, I kind of want to talk about that Stairway to Heaven just a hair, because we were looking at that. You've probably seen photos. Apparently, you can get in trouble for doing it. They say that there are security guards that, for whatever reason, and I'm sure they have really valid, good reasons, because the other hikes up there are doable, and people do them. So for this one to be closed, there's probably a reason, a safety reason.
Yeah.
You know, so just be smart. Don't be those tourists or those Tourons, as we call them.
Yeah.
But so we were like, yeah, we actually ended up driving up the wrong road first on our way to this hike.
To Mount Olympus, because
it was literally going to take us to the mountain, I think, like the base of it, wherever this road ended.
Yeah, we went on a road that, as I was telling Zach, if you went down this kind of road in Humboldt, you'd be turning around way quicker than when we did, because you're out in the middle of nowhere. Who knows what's going to go on at the other end of this road? And sometimes it's nice just not to know.
Yeah, no, and the amount of trespassing signs, the amount of every little thing there. But
and not saying anything sketchy was happening up there.
No, it just had that vibe of like, if you don't live up here, you shouldn't be up here. And it's fair. I mean, people spend a lot of money on houses and land, and some of those houses up there were real nice.
Yeah, no, I get it. And
they got to do it.
Yeah, that's why we turn around.
Exactly. And we did. And we found the parking lot, which is in this like weird, like pine forest.
Yeah, that was cool, because it kind of made you feel back in Central Oregon for a second.
It felt, the pine trees and the like the needles that they made were like, what are these? And it's kind of
so clay there too, so it's like that has that brownish color already.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool little spot. And honestly, what's nice about that spot is you can actually chill if you're just like a family. There's benches, there's water, there's bathrooms, there's
ton of mountain bikers, and so I'm assuming there's some good trail up there. I don't know, but it looked like, because there was quite a few mountain bikers, and I kept thinking to myself, like, there's got to be trails.
Honestly, and there were plenty up there we saw. I mean, it's a fun place, even if you're a Honolulu resident. It would be a place to go. Yeah,
so highly recommend just that. But we started going up to Mount Olympus, which is just you follow a ridge line, which these ridge lines aren't very wide to begin with, so it has kind of an Angel's Landing vibe as you hike. Way safer than like Angel's Landing, which is saying something, because it was slick, it was muddy. There's parts where you're pretty much going vertical over rocks, up these little mud canyons.
Well, what I liked about that when you're going up those is, when we were going up, we saw a group of people and they had mud all over their legs and pants and arms and stuff, and we were sitting there like, oh man, they must have really got into it. No, that's just the hike. You're going to get muddy. You got to use your hands to climb at some of these points. It's not just it's not a hike to the top.
Yeah. I mean,
because there are the points, and especially given that there is a lot of rain, especially in those higher elevations, you're going to climb.
Yeah, you can climb. You're going to slip. You're going to slide. It's
fun.
Make you wear all white in.
It was fun though.
Oh, I had a blast, man.
We did it. We made it to the top.
When we got to the top, whoo, The views were everything I wanted and more.
What I liked about that one and what I liked about on the Big Island is you could see the curvature of the earth from literally like these points.
I know. I love when you get that high, and you can see the slight curve of the earth. I've done it. I've experienced the true kind of curve feeling a few times now, and it's cool to see.
Yeah, no, and up there you really like you can see Kailua below to the right and to the left Honolulu and all the cool stuff. You can see the mountain ranges and the way they connect and the way they run. And definitely check out our social medias as we post some of the photos. But I think the way down was crazier because for me, I was not hydrated. I did not, we didn't eat that day. We went to the Sunrise Shack and I got a piece of banana bread. And this hike takes a lot out of you. It was a hot day. It was a humid day.
Muggy is gross.
And I think I got dehydrated because I was puking. Like I couldn't keep water down. I couldn't keep food down for a while.
Yeah, you did sound like a dying animal.
I probably was. And you give me another half hour up on that mountain alone and without water or help, I probably do. You know, it starts getting worse or declining. Be smart, people. Learn from my mistakes. Eat food. Because even the day before, I didn't eat healthy. We ate Thai food. We ate fried food. I drank soda. I don't think I drank water that day before. I also didn't have my bag. So, like, I was focused on that. I wasn't thinking about my health and what I need to do to prepare for these things. And to be honest, I didn't think this hike would be as hard as it was.
It was harder than I thought, too. And I want to make sure everyone knows I was doing really good.
Oh, yeah. Mark was fine.
No bad things. I was feeling real good.
I should have. I don't think I get as bad if I eat like eggs and some bacon that morning. I think I can do it, and I'm super hungry after because I think it took us a lot longer than we thought. So we probably should have eaten before this hike.
Yeah, it took us a lot
longer. It took us 6 hours. It took us 6 hours. I would say if I have enough nutrition in me, and that's water and food. If I have enough of that in me, it's 4.5.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I would say that 2 hours to hour and a half. Because I had to stop. I had to lay down. I had to like just give myself a break because I was exerting all the energy in my body because I had no energy. And
we were gone on this hike for a long time. I was talking to a former athlete who we caught up with the next morning, and I told her I'd hit her up after our hike. And she, the next day, was like, I thought you guys got arrested. You were there for so long. Like, we were there on this hike a while.
Yeah, it was nuts. I mean, I just got to say, be smart, people. We're not invincible. I'm not invincible. I get the other scary thing I think about is, you know, you hear the people talk about like George Floyd and the way he died and how he called out to his mom and how he just wanted his mom and how people when they're sick and all that, like when they're going through those things, like that's like the one thing they want. There was points I was like, I just want my mom. So I was like, am I going to die? I didn't think so, but I mean, look at that. I mean, Mark, if you're on the YouTube right now, you can see the video or the picture of the top of this. But I died and I came back. I lived. I threw up on the whole ride back. I was just in the car puking out the window. So if any of you are in Honolulu seeing that was me hanging out the window.
It was a sight. But I mean, you know, it's kind of whatever. You know,
I got food. I got water.
You know, be prepared. Take care of yourself. Hydrate. You know, I got literally a sticker on my water bottle right here. Hydrate or dihydrate. You know, it's a lifestyle. You know, and you do that, work out a little bit. You can do most hikes.
Yeah, No, and I was not hydrated for sure. And
Yep.
we're good. We're back. We're here. I'm drinking water, guys. We're fine. But
But
it was a
yeah,
success.
it was. It was. Oahu was a huge success. So that's kind of what we did there on Oahu, all the cool things. And so now we're gonna do one of our other top segments on the podcast here is our Wandering Ways review, or the WWR, as some of our beloved fans all know it as. And we're gonna do it for Oahu, the island. Okay. So we're not gonna count the flight debacle. You know, in review that island that we spent time on.
We're reviewing Oahu, the great, beautiful place that it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, the first category in our Wandering Ways review is the awe factor. What was the awe factor? 5 stars is the highest. That means holy cat's awe, kind of like, kind of, and 1 being. Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Okay, I've been there before, so I'm gonna say 4. It's up there. It doesn't blow me off my socks because I know what to expect. It is a smaller island. So the amount of new things essentially that I'm encountering or seeing isn't quite there. So that's why I'm not giving it the full 5 stars. But I love Hawaii. I love the weather. I love the people. I love Oahu. So it gets 4 for me. I'm curious about you because this was you. You were a first timer there.
Yeah, so it was my first time to the state of Hawaii in general. So, but the awe factor for me, I'm going to be real, only like a 4 out of 5.
Oh.
You know, it is Hawaii. It's beautiful. So you have to give credit where credit is due, but it wasn't like sweeping me off my feet. And it might have to do with the fact that I grew up as a coast kid. So I've seen the ocean and sand, you know, seen big forests. So the trees in the forest I'm used to are big. So I see a lot of them, but are small. I'm like, they're cool and great, but it's not like taking my breath away.
Well, and I can imagine too, the cities, like Honolulu and stuff, for you're not a city guy.
Yeah.
So I could see that.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's just, beautiful. It's Hawaii in the tropics. Like, yeah, it'd be pretty crazy to say, nah, the awe factor's a 1. Like, I thought it was just nothing. Like, no, it is something.
Yeah.
Next category is crowds. So this one, the more stars it is, the less number of crowds. So the lower the number, the more crowds. Ooh.
Just kind of based on where we stayed, I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay.
Because there are crowds. When we went to, you're driving, there's traffic. You're on the North Shore, there's people there, but there's not as many people on the North Shore as there are in some of the other areas of Hawaii. We really didn't do any big tours either, so we didn't experience the larger crowds. But when we did go to the farmers market, we did go to the North Shore, like I said, go to some of those places where tourists would be at. It's the typical amount. You didn't feel like you were standing out either. Like, oh, who's that? Like, they're the non-locals, or they're the, because there was enough people to just kind of be like, okay, there's people here.
Yeah. No, I get it. And that's valid. 3. I mean, I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 on the crowds. Because there are a lot of people there, people on vacation, people are kind of everywhere. Especially you go food carts, go in Honolulu, it's crowded. There's traffic there because it's crowded. So, the crowds are pretty bad. But you can plan around the crowds, which is nice. The bay we went to, people, but not crazy. If you're always up earlier, you're gonna beat crowds too. That's just kind of a given everywhere. But even the botanical garden we went to, not a lot of crowd.
No.
So I mean, you can beat the crowd. So it's not horrible, but it is pretty bad.
Yeah, and yeah, like you said, the botanical garden, like there's people there, but not a crowded site. But
For sure.
I liked it. It was I like that. That's good. That was good feedback.
No, yeah. Next category, chance of seeing wildlife. 5 being it's basically a zoo. 1 being it's the moon.
Well, I mean, you're going to see animals. You're going to see Hawaiian animals, right? We saw turtles in the bay. Not fully. We just saw their heads popping out of the water. We saw fish. We see tropical fish. You see the birds. We even saw the mongoose that the island has. But that was about it for wildlife for us. Unless you saw something epic on Oahu that I didn't know about.
No, I didn't.
Because even on like the hike, like there was just like your basic birds that we saw. But I mean, we also weren't looking for them, so that could be part of it. So I'm gonna go. If you're going to Hawaii, the only real animals you're going you gotta go if you're going to go snorkeling, yeah, you'll see fish. They're there. But I don't know, like a 3, because you'll see the wildlife. You'll see the wild tourists, the crazy tourists. But yeah, like it's just kind of like what I said. They're there, but nothing impressive.
I think 3 is a good rating for. It's why I'm rating it a 3 too, because it's like there is wildlife. You're gonna see it's beautiful, the birds. Good chance seeing turtles, the mongooses, all that. So they're there.
The chickens.
Yeah, the chickens are awesome too. But you have to go out of your way to see it. You have to go snorkeling. You have to do so. There's even more potential for even more wildlife, but that's not a guarantee kind of thing. So that's why I bump it a little bit lower.
Like you have to actively search it.
Yeah, you have to go on a thing. You have to do like a whole separate thing for it. So that's why it's in the middle, because there's potential for more, but it's, you have to kind of go and do the things for it.
Mm-hmm.
Next category in the Wandering Ways review is rating the views. Okay, so this is a little different from an awe factor, whereas now it's take the same idea with the awe factor, but limit it to just a view, not like the place itself.
So I'll give it a 5 here, a 5 of 5, because I mean, you don't get mountaintop views like we got unless you do like that hike. And I'm talking you doing that hike, you're climbing South Sister in Oregon like you've done. You're getting that same kind of epic view. These views, you have these cities above, on this island and the mountain ranges and that. You're seeing the beautiful sunsets, the Pacific Ocean, and what it brings you. Even the waterfalls, and I mean it's the shit you see in magazines. Like it is the awe factor. I think the difference between the views and the awe factor one is that the awe of the moment, where the view itself. No, you'll get the shot. You'll get that beautiful, and you can sit there and want to be there for hours.
Yeah, awe factor is real high for me. Probably a 5 out of 5. They are phenomenal. Mount Olympus was nuts. The beaches were amazing. Sunsets were top tier. I mean, you drive around the island, you can get sweet views and stuff. We passed on one because we didn't know we had to turn right away, or what the view was going to be like when we needed to make the turn. And man, as we came up, it was a gorgeous view there on I think the southeast side of the island. So, I mean, the views are amazing, just absolutely amazing. Going into the next category is hikes, rating the hikes there. So I guess hikes, how'd the hikes go for you? Did you like them overall? So not just the one hike, but all the little stuff, I guess the hike out to the bay, the botanical garden. all the hikes in general, not just the one big one.
I'll give it a 4 out of 5 because I mean it was an incredible hike. It was still an incredible feat to accomplish to get on top of that. It's just my preparedness that day wasn't there. The beautiful walks you do to get to the beach, the botanical garden hike was pretty nice. And when you're looking for hikes, that's what you're looking for. We got what we wanted. I feel like we did a lot with our time there. And when you put it down on paper and you put it into stories like this, like it takes up some time to talk about what we did. And I really, I'm excited. Yeah, 4. They were good. They were fun. That one was amazing. It was incredible. We're going to be talking about that the same way we talk about Angel's Landing.
Yeah.
I just died on it. Like that's the only thing.
Yeah. No. Hikes for me, I mean, shoot, 5 out of 5. One, it's a new kind of hike for me, the jungle hike. So that gets me excited already. 2, we had the amazing views on Mount Olympus. Couldn't go wrong. It was everything I wanted in the views on that island. So boom, I'm excited there. We got amazing flowers on just about every hike we did out there. The botanical garden had all the cool plants. I'm already going out. And then the little hike just to the bay. I mean, to the pillbox and the bay we were at, like, boom. It was all amazing. So the hikes on Oahu, 5 out of 5, because I just got excited about all of it.
Yeah, I like it. And you sound excited.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy stuff. But next category in it is accessibility. 5 stars being accessible to anyone, everyone, and anything. 1 being like, you might as well call yourself an Ironman athlete to do this. Maybe
well,
not, but
I'll go 4 out of 5 here just because anyone can be on Oahu. There's handicap accessibility everywhere. There's all that, those services are there. To do like the epic hike that we did, you probably do need to be a little more fit. But other than that, I mean, everything's pretty easy to get to. If you're into like the Pearl Harbors and stuff, anybody could really do that. If you want to go to like some of the bays, anybody could such do that. Because they have those that are accessible and they have those that aren't. It's kind of, again, with the wildlife, like you kind of need to seek it out yourself. So when I look at like the accessibility for like what we did, everything was accessible for us. We were able to do everything we wanted to do, could afford or do. So I think for most people, it's pretty accessible. Just kind of look ahead, be smart about it, and don't be like, oh, well, I'm in a wheelchair and I wanted to do Mountain Olympics, because that's not realistic. We gotta think realistically as well.
yeah, no, 100%. I mean, for me, it's 5 out of 5 on accessibility because like anybody can go to the island and do something. You're not going to be confined to a hotel room unless you're in quarantine. But anybody can go. From the most adventurous person, you can do stuff, to just someone who's just crawling out of bed barely. Anything in between. Somebody can make and have an enjoyable time on the island. So 5 out of 5 for me. Going into second to last category, favorite one that we do, I think one of the most important ones that we do on here is what's the Bigfoot sighting possibility?
Well, it's damn near 0 because there are no Bigfoots on this island. They have the Menahoon, which are the little people that live up in the mountains. But unless Bigfoot was on vacation, he is not in Hawaii. So I got to give it a 0.
Amen.
It sucks, but
0. He's just not on the island. Maybe we should start a petition, get Bigfoot to Hawaii. He deserves some sun. But no Bigfoot, so 0.
Well, yeah, we'll try.
Yeah.
We'll try.
Yeah, he deserves. Maybe he wants to take up surfing. I don't know.
He needs it. I mean, fuck, everyone's looking for him. He needs a vacation.
Exactly. But this goes into the last category, and the one that sums it all up is overall. How would you rate Oahu overall?
I mean, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 because anytime you're going to Hawaii. It's a great time, even when you have the hiccups that we had. I still have a blast. I'm glad we did it. I'm a little overwhelmed, getting back into the real world after all that, but I love it. And when you have these great trips, like, why not? It was an amazing experience, because that's what it is. It's an experience. The various things you do, the people you encounter, the accomplishments you achieve, like all of it adds up into this. And life's life, man. If you're not loving it, why live it?
Yeah, right. I mean, overall, 5 out of 5. It was an absolute blast. From the Airbnb we stayed in to the Sunrise Shack, getting that coffee, to there's a mantra I picked up while we were on Oahu, and I'm going to use it here. When you're there, bad days are canceled. Bad days are just canceled. It was awesome. Mount Olympus, crazy. Botanical gardens, beautiful beaches, can't complain. Saw turtles. That's one of the things I want to see, and I saw some damn turtles. But 5 out of 5, Oahu is amazing this trip. You know, can't complain. Which this is conveniently loops into that time, because it's always that time at some point, for final words.
Well, for this week's final words, I want to thank you guys all for listening, because you guys are fucking amazing. And I mean that. I emphasize fucking when I say that, because you guys are great. I gotta really emphasize it. No, we thank you for everything you guys do. You keep us going a little bit. I shared some photos on a Facebook group today of the turtle that we did end up seeing for next week's episode. So stay tuned for that. We'll talk about the Big Island. And just someone said, "Wow, thank you for sharing these. It really brings me back, and I'm happy." Like, as one person, I impacted their day a little bit. They're going to go probably tell their friend, like, "I saw these pictures from Hawaii, and we should get going, right? Or we should do this. Now that COVID has kind of died down, maybe this can happen." So just think about how your actions impact others, positive or negative. No matter what, we're going to impact those around us, and how we can be better and do better by that. Because even though they might not be clicking like on your photo, they're seeing it. If they're not commenting, they know about it. People are watching. The silent ones are watching. They're there. And you got to know that everything we do is being watched, and we're, whether we like it or not, it's happening. So keep wandering on.
Yeah, true. Reverend's final words of wisdom. I mean, stay beautiful, everyone. I can't thank you enough for sticking around, listening, for continuing listening, all that fun stuff. As for the Reverend's real final words of wisdom here, we talked a little bit about it actually on Instagram Live while we were on Oahu there. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you check out the Wandering Ways Instagram for that. But we talked about picking up trash. We can pick up trash. It's easy. It could be just one item every trip you go. Could be big, could be small. Anything is helpful. So really try and do our part. I'm trying to do something at the end of July here on the coast, a little beach cleanup for fun, trying to see if I can get the same amount of trash that I get in miles on my bike and running this month. So it's a little game both ways. But anyways, take some trash, pick up the trash, save the oceans and the planet. That being said, peace out, everybody.
Bye.